to start the actual method. Okay, first to work on web methods, we need to start integration server. Okay, to start integration server, we need to run which is located in the installation directory. And so in my local machine, so web method is installed in the software AG directory integration server. Okay, in the bin folder we have a file called server.bat. Okay, batch file. We need to run this file. Okay, so command prompt software AG slash integration server slash bin. Okay, and here we need to run the server.bat file. And here we have some other options like by default the integration server will start with a port number of 5555. So if you want to change the port number, you are given with the flexibility to change the port number port, and you can use your own port, some like 1212 or something else like that. Okay, and by default when you start the integration server, you create a log file in the directory integration server logs directory. Okay, you create a file called server.log. Okay. All these files. Okay. These are log files. Okay, when you start the server, a log file will be created. Okay, it will be at the beginning it will be like server.log when you start the server, and when you shut down the server, the name of the file will be renamed with the date. Okay, the date as a suffix, server.log the date. Okay, now when you start the server, we create a log file for the current session. Okay, just click. If you don't want to create a log file, you can give switch like -log none. Okay, so I'm starting the server. Click enter, and when you start the server, you start the server by loading the packages, and the first package which is loaded by default is WM root. That is the default package, which is one of the default packages which are provided by software AG. Okay, now we open the developer. And one more important point is like when you start the server, the integration server will create a log file, LOCK log file in the integration server directory. So this is the log file. This is nothing but just an empty file. Okay, this file is created to make sure that only one instance of server is running at a particular point of time with a single installation. Because if I don't know whether this is, I mean, like the server is running, I forgot and I tried to start another instance with similar procedure, then what it will do is like if it start, then it will result in a bug, right? See, both the instances should initialize with the same ports. Like the primary port will be 5555 for both, so it results in a bug. The server may crash, the other instance may crash, or both the instances may crash. To avoid that, what software we have did there is like it creates a log file when you start the server. when you start the server, first thing it will do is like it will create a log file in this particular directory, and then go with the procedure of starting the server. And when you try to start the server, if you try to start the server once again, you inform here that there is a log file in the installation directory. If you try to start the server once again, it will prompt you a message saying that only one integration server instance may be run for a particular installation time. So make sure that there is no log file in the directory. But we have a log file. So this happens. You can delete the log file and you can start the server. But that should be we should do that. But when we make sure that there is only one instance of server is running, like there is no instance of server running at that particular point of time. Okay, and in some situations, when you shut down the server, also there will be log file. Okay, that is like when you abruptly shut down the server, the log file will not be deleted. When you shut down the server in a proper way, okay, then log file will be automatically deleted from the directory. Okay, and the default range. This is developer, and the default credentials for login. I think I have told you in the last class demo. Right?
Yes.
This administrator and manage. In the server text in the box, will be giving the host name and port number of the server which you are going to connect. And if you are using the 5555 the HTTP port, you can create a HTTPS port also. If you are connecting to a HTTPS port, you need to use this secure connection. Okay. And if you have some proxy servers, then you need to use this proxy server. Okay. Server is not yet started. Meanwhile, we'll go with the data types in web methods. Okay. Coming to the data types in web methods, here in web methods, whatever the data comes in the web methods is treated as string. Whether it may be a float, whether it may be a name, or whether it may be some different other character or string. Everything will be treated in terms of string. Okay. So coming to data types, we have the following data types in web methods: string, string list, string table, okay, document, document list, okay, document reference, document reference list, object, okay, object list. So these are the 9 data types we have: string, string list, string table, document, document list, document reference list, object and object list. Coming to the string is nothing but collection of characters. Okay, whatever data comes, we'll treat as string. String list is nothing but collection of strings. Okay, like it's a 2-dimensional array. Coming to string table, it's a multi-dimensional array of strings. Coming to document is an IData object or IData class which can contain all the other data types. It is a wrapper. Okay, and document list is nothing but collection of documents. Okay, and coming to document reference is nothing but taking the reference of already, suppose if you have created a document like say doc1, and you want the same kind of document in your logic, then you can take the reference of that particular document. That is called document reference. And document reference list is nothing but taking the reference of a document in terms of list. Suppose you have multiple data, which is like you need to take the list of doc1, we'll take it as doc reference list. And coming to object is nothing but it contains any kind of data like bytes, strings, whatever it may be. The characters, everything it can accommodate. Okay, that is the object. And coming to object list is nothing but collection of objects. This is all about the data types and web methods. Since our is started, so we'll go with the so here this is called a package. Okay, whatever the logic you develop, that should be inside the package. Inside the package we can create only folders. Okay, inside the folders we need to create the actual code, I mean like close or whatever it may be. Okay, so I'll create a package now. I'll click new package. If you go with the definition of package is the smallest deployable unit in web methods. Okay, which contains folders, subfolders, flow services, Java services, C or C++ services, okay, adapter services, adapter notifications, all these things. Package, I'm giving it as, I think your name is Pramod, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think the name is correct, right?
Yeah.
I'm giving it your name, package name. Okay, training Pramod. And the root folder which you create inside a package. See, when you try to create something inside a package, it's giving you only two options, package and folder. Okay, so it means like inside a package you can create only a folder, nothing more than that. So I'm creating a folder. This is the root folder. Okay, the name of the root folder should be same as that of the package name. That is a convention. It's not a rule, but it's not mandatory, but it's a convention. I'll tell you why you need to do that. Training from it. Okay. Inside this we can create whatever the folder we can. Suppose let's say I'm creating a folder called flow steps. Now I know we deal with flow steps, so I'm giving it as flow steps. Okay. Inside this I'm creating, suppose flow step is map. I'm creating map. So okay, I'll create the flow service inside the map. That is new. This is the flow service. See, now when you go with a new option, here you are given with some other options like inside, when you try to create something inside a folder. Okay, so it means like inside folder you can create all these objects, whereas if you try to create something inside a package, it will give you only two options, whether you want to create a new package or a folder. It means like inside a package you can't create all the remaining elements except a folder. So coming to the map steps, right click new flow service. I'll give it as name transformation. Okay, and just see, I'll create one more folder here, some test. Okay, and I'll give some, I'll put a flow service here. I'll give it as some flow. Okay, when you copy this, okay, it will give the namespace. You can find the namespace. Yeah. So this is the namespace of that particular flow service. It's like a unique identification, the address of the particular flow service. Coming to this, so this is the namespace of the service which I created. When you observe this, the namespace starts from the folder level here, because if the package name is not coming into existence here, this is the training promote is the root folder name. Okay, inside training promote folder we have flow steps folder. Okay, inside flow steps folder we have more, and inside this we have this particular name transformation service. Whereas coming to here, we have test as a root folder, and inside that we have flow is the flow service. Okay, so when someone gives here a namespace, it can't identify where the service actually is located when you see this, because there is no package identification here. Okay, when you follow the convention like the root folder name of the same as that of the package name, then you can directly go with this. So it's the root folder name is training promote. So we can go to training promote package, and then we can go into the path which is specified in the namespace. But here you can't identify it, right? I'll show you like this. Yeah, this is your navigation panel, and and someone has given you the namespace like this. Okay, if they ask you to identify it, okay, test colon flow. Where did you? I mean, how can you identify it here? See, you can't like you need to check each and every package for that. But when we follow the conventions, so this is the root folder name. When we follow the conventions, like the package name should be same as that of the root folder name. Then you can directly go to training promote package. Here is the training promote package. We'll search it and we'll go to here. Okay, and in that we have training promote root folder. Okay, fine. In that we have flow steps. Fine. In that map. So we have the couple service located in this particular path. That is what we can find it out easily. That's the reason why it's used as a best practice or convention for package name should be the same as that of the root folder name. Clear? I'm deleting this. I think you are good with this, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And when you create a package, okay, it will be created on the server in a file location. I will show you the location of the file. And in software AG, go to the integration server. You will have a folder called packages. Go to packages, and inside this we will be having the folder with the name of your package, training promote. Okay. When you open this, you will be having a folder called ns. Ns is namespace. Go to the ns folder. You will have again this training promote package. This is because the first training promote folder is the package name, and this is the root folder name. Okay.
Yeah.
Training promote is root folder name. Okay. If you change this, here the folder name also will change this. Okay. And if you go into this, then we have flow steps folder. Okay. Then we have map folder, and in that we have name transformation service. Right. If you open this folder, this we have flow.xml. This particular flow.xml is the actual service which you develop. Okay. Whatever that flow service you develop will be served in terms of XML. Okay. One important question is when you want to move, when you want to attend some interview, they will be asking you. Okay. When you create a flow service, in which path it will be created and in which format it will be created. Okay. The path is this. Okay. This is the path, like integration server, packages, and the package name, and the format it will be created is XML. Okay.
Okay.
So coming to map, I mean like flow steps. What are the flow steps means? Like we have 7 flow steps in web methods. Okay, like when you go to Java, we have like for, if, for each, do, while, all these constructors, right? Similarly, web methods has provided us with 7 powerful constructors. Okay, they are called flow steps. Flow, like if you go with the definition of flow step, okay, flow step is a basic unit of task. Okay, yeah. So one of these are the flow steps. Okay, insert, map, branch, loop, repeat, sequence, and exit. There is 7 flow steps, and we'll go one by one. First, we are dealing with map. Okay, map is used to transfer data, like mapping the data from one variable to other variable. Okay, so this is a symbol for map. Okay, so to click this, you come in the editor panel. Okay, this is the editor panel. Okay, this is the pipeline and input output tab. Okay, coming to here, this is the navigation panel. Okay, this is the recent elements and registry panel. Okay, recent elements, all the services which are used recently will be available here. Coming to this is the properties panel. Okay, and this is the results panel. Okay, whenever you execute a service, the results will be appearing here. Okay, coming to this input output tab, these are the inputs and outputs. Okay, if you treat this flow service as a method, these input and output tabs were as input, like input and output parameters for the method, and here this is the actual core of the method. Okay, when you define in variables here, they will be available as inputs and outputs for the service. And when you can define variables in the pipeline also. Here itself. Okay, when you define variables in the pipeline, they will be as intermediate variables. Right? Suppose when you are working with a for loop, we will be creating a variable, right? For it I is equal to 0. Okay, it means like they are the intermediate variables, right? They will not be appearing in the signature of the method. That's what. Okay, when you go with the input output, that is the signature of the method, and this is the, when you go with the pipeline, then these are the intermediate variables. They will not be available in the signature. So now we deal with map. Coming to map, map is used for mapping the variables. Now what I will do is like name transformation. I will change the name of the variable here. Okay. First thing is that in European countries they will be calling the pin code as zip code. Okay. When you come to Asian countries like India, we will be calling it as pin code. And one more thing, these are the data types which I have told you: string, string list, string table, document, document list, document reference list, object, and object list. I am creating a string like pin code. Okay. Now for mapping, we need to go to the pipeline tab. Okay, just like in the map, I'm mapping zip code to just select it and just drag to the other variable. It will create a link. Okay, this link means that pin code equals to zip code. Okay, it means like zip code's value will be assigned to pin code. Okay, in our programming language, we'll be writing the same thing in this format. Okay, but coming to web methods, it will be reverse. Okay, right side part comes to left side part comes to right side. Okay, generally what we think is like pin code value assigned to zip code. Okay, if you think in a traditional programming languages format, okay, convention, but here it is different. Zip code value is mapped to pin code. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saving this with the save button. Just running this. Click run zip code. The same 52073 is a pin code which I'm zip code which I'm getting. Okay. Okay, in output I got the pin code. Name, the name of the variable is changing. But what my return is like, I don't want the zip code in the output again. For that, what I can do is like I can drop this variable. Okay, I can select it and you have a drop button here. Drop. You click this drop, okay, then this variable will not be available in any further, okay. In output it will not be seen, or in the next post also it will not be seen. Just save this. If you run this, so you will get only print out. Means nothing but I am changing the name of the variable, right? This is what name transformation. Okay, new and go with the other transformation. Name structural. So, structural transformation. Let us say in the input I am getting a document called address. Address input. Okay, and it contains two fields. Address line 1, there is a address line 2. So you can move these two variables into the document by clicking here, okay. They'll shift to the right. Okay, they'll be coming into the document. So this document contains two fields, like address line 1 and address line 2. And my requirement is I need to push this address into the database. Okay, they have a table called address, and I need to push this particular address into the database or insert them into database. But my if they have only one field for address, okay, in the target database we have only one field for address. So what I need to do, like I need to make this two lines into single line. So for that what I'll do is like I'll do name and structural transformation. Yes, I'll create a variable called address. Okay, and I'll put a match. We'll go to pipeline. Here we have some built-in functions. Okay, you click this is called transform. Click this, and we have functions like pub, match, string, list, everything we have. Okay, go to the string. We have top concat. So I'm using concat. Address line 1. I'm concatenating with address line 2, and giving the output to address. Okay, save it. So concatenate address line 1 and address line 2 and give it in output will give the address. Just run this. Suppose say motherboard. Okay. See, in address we got a single field, but it was not. I mean, like Madhapur Hyderabad, for a new person, it is not understandable, right? They can't understand that it is it is two words. They'll think it as one word. To make it, I mean, like to differentiate them, what I'll do is like I'll do small thing. I'll remove this link here, and I'll copy this particular variable, and I'll click here. So just select this string and click here. You can set a value. Okay, you can set a value to the particular string or particular input. Okay, here in percentile, I'll give the name of the variable. Okay, and then what I'll do is like I'll put this perform variable substitution, which means like it will replace the value inside the percentile. If it is a variable name, then the value will be replaced with this string, with this percentile string. Okay, and before that what I'll do is like I'll put a comma and particular value, address line 2 value, and I pull. Okay, comma and address line 2 value and pull stop. And to replace it, you need to check this checkbox, perform variable substitution. Okay, click OK. And now check it. Just save it and just run it. So you get it Madhapur, Hyderabad. Dot. This is somewhat in a readable format. So in this point you need to know, like an important observation is like you can set a value, okay, here, and you can pass the value dynamically. Like placing the variable name in the by placing the variable name in the percentiles. Okay, this clear?
Yes.
Yeah, this is very important. Okay, and important thing which we will forget when you are doing this is checking this checkbox. The performing variable, the perform variable substitution. If you don't check this checkbox, what happens is like, I'll show you. So the value will not be replaced. Okay, you get it as it is, comma percentile at address IP slash address line 2 percentile. I mean, did you understand the difference?
Yes.
Yeah. So you need to be cautious when you're doing this. Okay, you'll get it. This is structural transformation. Means changing the structure of input from one format to other format. Now this is value transformation. Coming to value transformation, just say in the input I'm getting a value in USD, so US dollar, and the target I had to convert into, suppose the client is sending from US and the recipient is the receiver is from India. You need to get the amount in terms of INR, Indian rupees. So what I'll do, you need to convert. We need to convert USD to INR. Here what I'll do, I'll put a map step, go to the pipeline. The pipeline, we need to add a transformer. Okay, go to this is the transformer button. Click here, go to map, and in the map we have different functions like multiply, multiply floats. Okay, you can click it and you can give the input. This USD is given to num1. Okay, in the number I'm giving the exchange rate. Let us say the exchange rate is 64.5. Okay, and we get the value in this value variable, some product in the value variable, and unify on it. Okay, just save this, and if you run this, it will ask for the USD. Let's say it is like some $43. Okay, and this is the INR amount. Got it. Okay, and coming to this transformer, it is not like only these three different functions can be used. Okay, you can click the button, browse button. You can use any of the services we have in the analytics panel. Okay, you can use in transformer the custom services which you have developed also. Just say, suppose you have name transformation. Yes. So you can use your name transformation service also, like zip code and pin code, the transformer. Okay. And one more important point of transformer is all the transformers in a single map step will be executed concurrently. Okay, will be executed concurrently. So what you need to be cautious, like in which scenario you should not use transformer is like if one transformer's output is given as input to other transformer. Suppose let's say we have a variable called A here. Okay, we are giving the input A to the multiply float service, but we are getting the A out as output in the name transformation service, name transformation transformer. Then it will be an ambiguity, right? You are generating the variable and you are taking it as input at the same point of time. Then the value of variable will be, will not be, consistent. In such cases, you should not use transformers because they are executed concurrently. This is value transformation. Now I go with the conditional transformation. How to specify condition in a map. Let's say when you are going with some loan approval or something else like that from a bank, they will check the CIBIL score of that particular client. Okay, to give, for who is loan or not. Let's say we have a Civil score, civil. Okay, civil variable. Okay, depending on the civil score, the loan should be approved. Okay, let's say if the civil score is 750 or more than 750, the loan will be approved. And if it is less than 750, then the loan will not be approved. That is what our requirement is. Okay, and we have a variable called status. Okay, so depending on the CBIL value, we need to output in the generate the status like approved or rejected. Okay, for that just I'll put the map set. Okay, in the map set we have these properties. Okay, comments, scope, timeout, and label. The comments is nothing but just giving some description about the map set. You can write some description here. Comment plus I'm initializing variable. This is nothing but comment. Coming to scope, okay, in real time when you're working with some close text, okay, there will be there will be large number of inputs. Okay, suppose they have document. Suppose I have these many input documents, but for this particular flow step, I need only the pipeline. I need only variables which are present in untitled document as inputs. Okay, what I'll do is like suppose we have some variables here. I'll create a code here. And so at present this untitled document contains these three strings. Okay, in the pipeline of this particular flow step, I want only this document to be present. Okay, I don't want other documents or any other inputs. What I'll do is like I'll copy this. Okay, and in the scope property, okay, I'll paste this document. Okay. Okay, when you go to pipeline, I'll see the inputs only which are present in that particular document. Okay, and I will not see any other inputs for this particular flow step only. We put another flow step here, and for this flow step, we can see all the inputs, all the values, all the variables in the pipeline. But only for this flow step, we will be seeing we can see only the variables which are present in the document. That is the scope, and we can give only document name, not a string or something else like that in the scope. Okay, this scope. Okay, just removing the word unwanted documents. Okay, so we go with the logic. So I'm going to initialize two variables. Like first one is approved and other one is rejected. Okay, approved. I'll hardcode this particular value, set value to approved. Approved. Okay, I'm hardcoding the approved variables value with approved, and I'll create one more variable. Okay, and I'll hardcode this variable value with rejected. Okay, so the approved variable contains the approved value, the rejected variable contains rejected value. So in this is nothing but just to have the content. I mean, like if you want to give in the status approved status, then you should have that particular content in some variable. That's the reason why I'm initializing these two variables to use in the next cluster. Okay, here I'll do the logic. See, if the status is approved, I'm mapping the approved status. Okay, only when the CBIL score is greater than 750. Just I'm copying this greater than or equal to. And in the link, just like this link, and we have property called copy condition. Here we can specify the copy condition. In percentile, okay, just place the variable name CBIL should be greater than or equal to 750. Okay, this is the condition to get approved. and rejected. Just map the rejected also, the status. In rejected, what is the copy condition? So the score should be less than 7. Okay. And when you specify a copy condition, the color of the link will change from black to blue. Okay. Now we'll see this one by running this service. Save it. Run. Let's say I'm giving it as 756. Status good. Okay. And when you give it less than 750, let's say 755. It's rejected. Okay. And one thing is like these are the intermediate variables, like temporary variables. Just for our logic purpose, we have created them. So I want to drop this. I don't want this as being output. Okay. So what I'll do, like I'll select the variables and we'll click drop button, so that they will not be available in the output. Just save this. So run it. So you will get only the serial score and the status. Clear? Any doubt?
No, no.
Yeah. These are the different transformations we have. Okay. The next thing is like branch.
Can you hold on for like 2 seconds?
Yep, sure.
Thank you. Go ahead, Pratik.
So branch is also which we use for implementing if-else conditions and switch conditions, switch scenarios. Okay, we can use branch to implement both of these. Okay. First we'll see if-else. Branch type property. These first four properties are common for any flow step. Okay, and apart from these four, the properties which we have are the special properties which for the respective flow step. Okay, for branch we have two special properties: switch and evaluate labels. Evaluate labels means like suppose the branch has some child steps. Okay, if you want to evaluate the expression which is in the label of the child step or not, if this property. Okay, if this is set to true, then the branch will work as if else. Okay, if evaluate labels is true, then branch will work as if else, and if evaluate labels is false, then branch will work as switch. Okay, and coming to this property, this switch property comes into existence when evaluate labels property is false. Okay, if evaluate labels property is false, the branch will work as switch. It means that we need to have a switch variable on which we need to switch the cases, right? So that particular variable will be specifying in the switch property. Okay. Now first we'll see with the if else. So if it is if else, we need to have evaluate labels property as true. Okay, and I'll put like the same logic which we have implemented in the previous conditional transformation. I'll be implementing it here. Okay. output is status. Okay. Then first method by writing a condition like copy, and you need to specify the condition in the label property. Okay. Percentile interval label greater than or equal to 750. Okay, first method. And the other one is like you can put it as default. Okay, you can have a we have property, we have values for labels, because label is a drop down, you can check it out. Okay. By default it is default and null. Okay, you can put it as default. It's nothing but this is the if case and this is the else case. Okay, if symbol score is greater than or equal to 750, then this map will be executed, and if it is in the else case, this default will be executed. Okay, and put the pipeline. If it is greater than or equal to, then the status should be approved. I'm hotspotting with that approved value. Okay, and hotspotting the status value with approved status. And coming to the default case, okay, it will be like rejected. Okay, let's save. Then giving the register, then something like that. So it is approved. Okay, to debug this, it is see the step-by-step execution. First control comes into the branch, then we'll check the condition. So this is satisfying, it came to the approved status. Now if you do the same thing, and if I give some other thing like 76, now you check it out. So the control comes directly to the default step, because the condition failed in the first step. Status is rejected. Clear? This is how we'll be using if else.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'll implement the switch condition. I use a branch. Okay. To implement switch, you need to use the evaluate labels property as true. Okay. Sorry, evaluate labels property as false. Okay. If it is true, then it will work as if else. If it is false, then you can use the branch as switch. Okay. Let's say a person's income, depending on the person's income, something is like yeah. The input what I'll do is like I'll give the currency, and in the output I need to get the country name. Okay, currency, and in the output I'm expecting the country name. Okay. In the switch property I'll do the currency. Just copy this, the branch, the switch, the pasting the currency. Okay. Depending on the currency value, we need to switch the cases. The first map what I'll do is like if currency is in the label, you need to specify the value USD or INR. Okay. Then the value should be, country value should be India. Okay. And coming to the next one, like if it is US, it's like USD, right? If it is USD, then the country is USA. And I'll put one more method, and I'll put this as default. Okay. by default it's unknown. Okay, this I'm saving this, and if you just like suppose it's like INR, so the country name is India. So it is selecting this particular state. Okay, and if it just take like INR and some other thing else like that, then it's unknown because we know this, but we don't have a case for this currency. Okay, and if it is used, then this will be USA. Okay, if we can trace it and we can see that technology. Okay, go back when it comes to the brand. Okay, to go to the step where the currency value is used. We have label USD where it is like. So we directly control goes to the butler step and execute it and just finish the flow execution. Okay. This is how it executes. Okay, to do INR, same thing it will do. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah, from I think you are so far good, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Any doubts?
Then I have to practice all these things, right? How do I do it?
Mandatory. Yeah, they are very logical, okay? Without practicing you can't, okay? You need to practice a lot. Without, when you want to go into web methods, without those steps you can't do anything, okay? They're the basics. Yeah, like without knowing if constructor, for constructor, or something like that in Java, you can't work in Java, right?
Yeah.
Same thing here. Without this, you know how much you work on the other components, it's useless without those steps. So you need to mainly concentrate on those steps. When you think that you are good with those steps, then only you will be confident to work on web methods.
Okay. But how do I practice these things?
Yeah. Do you have the setup of web methods?
What is it?
Do you have the web method software?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Can I install the developer somewhere?
No, we need to install the server also. I'll try to share it, share the software with you. Okay. And in
Okay.
coming session, we'll see the installation process. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have Oracle installed in your machine? Oracle or SQL Server?
Oracle?
Oracle
What
or
is
SQL
Oracle?
Server?
Uh,
SQL Server.
I don't. I think I don't have it.
Database.
No, I don't think I don't have it. You want me to install it?
Okay, I'll try to share the software. Yeah, we need to have a database. Okay. Webmethods use a database to store its data.
Okay.
So what we do is like I'll try to share the software with you. I'll talk to the guys who are in contact with you and make sure that you get the software. And in the next session, what we do is like we'll see the installation process. Okay, and try to install information so that you can practice the session classes which I'm going to take in the next sessions. Right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Pramod.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good day.
Yes.